back in the friendly confines. What's good, everybody? Welcome. Thank you all. We're starting an hour earlier than normal because, as you know, real life gets in the way. But to get back here for this show, I got up at 2:45 a.m. Eastern time today. I woke up today in Jacksonville, Florida, 5 a.m. flight to Dallas to Orange County. Why? So we get to talk about a lot of what's going on in pro wrestling. And in fact, I don't even think I needed to go to bed last night because AEW went almost all the way to when I had to get out of bed. What a joke. And we're going to, AEW fans, you say we don't talk about it? We're going to talk about it today. So today's a very, very big day. But before we get into our big announcement, I got to bring in my partner. I got to bring in my guy because he is fired up today. And I mean fired up today. The one and only, the creative head, the mind behind JCW and the greatest wrestling writer of all time, Vince Russo. How are you, sir?
What is going on, Coach? All fired up, all revved up today with someplace to go. Yes.
Well, I know. And as always, thank you for adjusting your life for me. It's appreciated. It really is. Vince, I think this might be one of the most spirited shows that we ever have over the course of the next 60 to 75 minutes. Before we even get started, though, you know, when you and I started, what was it, about 18 months ago, 17 months ago, something like that, we never could have imagined we'd grow to where we are right now. Right. So the one thing, right, that at russosbrand.com or at BTT Studios, we're always looking to expand, correct? We're always looking to grow.
Yes.
And so I came up with this idea, and we wanted to announce it here on the show right now because then I want you to see it and then tell the good people in the chat and at home exactly what they can expect. So a few weeks ago, you missed the show. Did I cry about it? Did I say we're going to cancel the show? Did I do that?
Nope.
So what did we do? We got a little fill-in. Now, he's not Vince Russo, but he's really, really good, and he's polarizing, and he's edgy, and people love him or people love to hate him. So, Vince, right here, officially, we put a little something together for our next show, our third show here at BTT Studios, and we're all going to watch. I haven't even seen this yet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2 Count. At BTT Studios, we've never been hotter, but it makes me want more content, more opinion. So welcome to our brand new show with me, the coach.
And me, JD from New York.
Every single Tuesday, starting this Tuesday, March 17th, we're going to bring you the 2 Count.
That's right, 10 topics, 30 minutes, and that's all we need.
Now, don't get me wrong, I respect JD, but when it comes to wrestling opinions, I plan to absolutely verbally destroy him.
You know, that's funny because I do this every single night, every single week, and with someone like Coach, I call that easy work.
Now I know you have questions. What wrestling companies are you talking about? What wrestlers are you talking about? One simple answer: all of them.
And we will debate the biggest stories and the biggest topics from promotions like WWE, AEW, TNA, and shit, even JCW.
So join us this Tuesday, March 17th, for the very first 2 Count at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, live.
Why are we doing it live? Because we want you there live. We want you in the chat, and we want you there in the moment.
It's going to be the fastest show in all of pro wrestling that's going to make you think and maybe, just maybe, make you a bigger and better pro wrestling fan. We'll see you Tuesday. Producer man did it again, Vince. How cool is that?
Yeah, no, listen, man. People know if you follow Russo's brand. I've done shows with JD. JD's great. I love JD. He's very opinionated. He's from New York. Very honest, very raw. He's got it all going on. I'm happy for you and JD with this show, Coach. I look forward to it.
Well, thank you very much. But you're one of I had to clear this with you. To me, you have as much say at BTT Studios as anybody. Like you're part of the executive team, the executive committee. So thank you for approving that.
You're welcome, Coach.
All right, we'll put that on social media as soon as the show is over. But we got a ton of topics to get into. But as JD just said in the video, we love to be interactive. You guys know that. That's why you come here live. So, Vince, how can they really be a part of the show?
Yeah, guys, if you want to be a part of the discussion, opinions, questions, views, whatever it is that you have, we will pull them up on the screen through super stickers and donations of $5 and over. You will become part of the conversation. But if they go to the next level, coach, of $10, what happens?
$10, make you holler. Then you get on the Coach and Roulette Wheel, which we do on Thursday this week. We're back at our regular time live on the Stadium Network. Last week, I think we had 40-some names, and you have the opportunity to win a free piece of merch from our brand new merch store. And by the way, Vince, you haven't even seen this. We now have baseball jerseys.
Oh, nice.
Baseball jerseys. And we got inspired because of you.
Yes.
They're the Jugga Bros. I haven't even sent it to you yet. Just got done today.
Yeah, big. I had my big draft last night, Coach. Big.
How did it go?
Draft. It went well. It went well. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with my draft.
So was it 6 hours? Did you start it when AEW started?
No. I only give people one minute. They got 1 minute to make a pick. I'm the commissioner. I'm not going to sit here mamby-pamby 3-4 minutes. You got 1 minute to make a decision, Coach. Be prepared.
I know you. I know you come in really, really prepared. I'm assuming you had the World Baseball Classic on in the background, though.
Yes, I did, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game. Big game, Venezuela and my home country, Italy. Huge game tonight.
I cannot believe Italy is still alive.
Yes,
can't believe it. They've been amazing.
You know what it is about both of these two teams? They want it. I don't get that feeling with USA. I'm just not seeing that emotion. Watch Italy and watch Venezuela play. These two teams want it, Coach.
Here's the problem with when you're talking about countries. You watch it in the Olympics, is that other countries, they live, eat, and breathe this stuff.
Yes.
Like it's everything to them. And Olympic athletes or like these baseball players, they are rock stars in their home countries. That's not the case here in the United States. I just don't think it means as much to the players.
Yeah, and when you're watching USA play, Coach, it's like they are playing with so much pressure, like they're so expected to win, and it doesn't look like anybody's having any fun. And
I know.
That's why I'm telling you, I don't think at the end of the day they're going to win this thing. I really don't. I think whoever comes out of tonight's game, I think they're going to win the championship because they want it. There's emotion. There's hungry. And, Coach, you know, man, that's huge when it comes to sports.
It adds so much. It adds so much. I was calling the players this weekend. It's the biggest event on the PGA Tour. And they were going out. So Matthew Fitzpatrick is he's on the European Ryder Cup team. Remember last fall, the Ryder Cup was in Bethpage Black in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so brutal. And yesterday, Cam Young, who I know very well, he ended up birdieing 17, longest drive in the history of the event on 18. So he had the emotions popping. And the crowd started doing the whole Ryder Cup stuff. So he ended up beating Matthew Fitzpatrick, and it was hilarious because afterwards they said, were you a little offended by the crowds and the fact that they were rooting against you and this was golf? Vince, he said, with an accent, he goes, these guys need to go to New York, and they need to understand what New York fans are all about. Like he just gave the hammer down, just the hammer down, because New York fans are what they are, but so are LA fans. And Vince, that's where we start the show today, because AEW fans, they always say, you guys don't talk about us enough on the Coach and Bro show. So last night they had Revolution, and Vince, the narrative was sold out. Technically it was for what they had it set up for. So I'm going to give them that. But Vince, when you have an opportunity like they have right now, where the WWE is taking haymakers at every corner for everything, last night was an unbelievable opportunity to take a gigantic step forward. And what did Tony Khan do? 5.5 hours. Main event didn't even start until almost 4 hours into the event. And there's a lot we need to talk about, but we got to start with that. What did you make of the fact that Tony Khan just can't get out of his own way?
Again, you know a rule of thumb, not just in wrestling, Coach, but in life. I mean, we've heard this our entire lives growing up. What is it? Less is more. You always want to keep the audience wanting more. I learned that, I think, when I was a 5-year-old kid. And what does Tony Khan do? He goes the complete opposite way. Now, listen, man, there are going to be some fans, a very, very small percentile, that loves 5.5 hours of wrestling. But I promise you, Coach, that's a very small percentile.
For those of you watching right now that may say, hey, why is that such an issue? Well, the most important people on the card, just so you guys, and most of you understand this, is the main event. They're the ones selling the tickets. They're the ones you say, thank you for the house. It's not the guys on the 0 hour. It's not the Rizzler. It's not the Costco guys. It's not Wayne Brady. That's not who you're buying tickets to see. So, Vince, if they're not going in until after 11 o'clock at night, the crowd is dead. The crowd is done. And Tony not only showed that he was a mark last night, he verbalized it. Have you heard what he said about Hangman Adam Page?
I didn't. I read a headline, but I didn't hear it.
We have it loaded up. Let's go, Tony Khan, cut one, producer man, on Hangman Adam Page asking for the stipulation that he could never fight for the title again if he lost.
Same thing with Cody. It was a gentleman's handshake with both of them. They both came to me and said, I want to put this at stake. And both of them, I told them, that sounds fucking nuts, dude. And both of them really wanted to do it. And in both cases, I said, are you sure? And they both said, yeah. And so it is an agreement we made. And it's the second time it's happened. And, he's somebody that is known for being a man of his word, and we made a verbal agreement, so it's a verbal contract.
Vince, is there a bigger mark in wrestling than Tony Khan? This is not an NFL game. It's not an NBA game. It's not like you go and say, it's predetermined. Please give me your take on that.
I wish I could, Coach. I really wish I could. I don't understand what's in this man's head. I mean, I am currently writing a wrestling show. We don't have, we're not on TBS and TNT and USA and all that good stuff. But my God, I have common sense. When did we start believing wrestling is real? I don't know, Coach. Maybe we started believing it's real when we're sticking syringes through each other's cheeks. Let me tell you something. You said a couple of minutes ago, thank you for the main event. I ain't thanking anybody for sticking syringe. When did that start happening? Coach, hardcore matches, Texas death matches, those used to develop with whatever tools you could find in the back underneath the ring. We hit somebody with a broom. Maybe we'll find a shovel. That's what those matches were. So what are there, syringes? Are there syringes hanging around? Bro, that is disturbing. It's gross. It's disgusting. And listen, I like Adam Page and MJF. I like both of those guys. You guys are freaking idiots, bro. That's what is it? Sadism? That's S&M bullshit, Coach. And I saw that clip and I'm like, yeah, bro, bring the kids out. Bring the kids out to an AEW show. Enjoy the show. What is wrong with you, bro, when you're sticking syringes through each other's skin? I swear to God, bro, you mentally have to have a problem if you are doing that in a wrestling ring. That's why I will never, ever watch an AEW event. Even if they paid me to watch it, I would turn down the money.
I had to let that breathe for a second because we're going to post that on social media. Vince, I have never agreed with you more than in this very moment. I am sitting in my room last night. I paid for the damn thing in Jacksonville so that I could properly prepare for this show, my SiriusXM show. And as I'm sitting, I'm like, this is the same show where the Rizzler, who's like 11, and his brother, who's like 13, are actually in the show. And then when you think about the kids that you talked about, And MJF quite possibly could be my favorite character in wrestling. Quite possibly. And when you get to the level that he's at, not only do you not need to do it, you shouldn't do it. And when they brought the syringe out, because I can handle, I guess, the glass over the head. You know, I've been a part of the show where there were thumbtacks with Mick Foley. I can almost handle that. But when you have a syringe through the cheek of a guy who then Tony Khan says afterwards, he came and he said, I want to put it on the line. So I told him he's crazy. He's crazy. I'm like, at what point did you guys sit down and discuss this? And when you think, Vince, of inmates running the asylum, what do we always say here? What's the one thing we do when we're questioning content? WWVD. Yeah. What do you think Vince would have done if they would have walked to him at 3:00 in the afternoon to go over the match and said, we're planning on this, 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 and this?
There's a couple more things to it too, then, Coach, because we always dig a little deeper here. And I'll tell you what the things are that they don't even consider. Number one, MJF, you had a featured role in an Adam Sandler movie. And you were very, very, very good.
Yes.
And acting can be in your future. That can be another avenue for you. Why? Why are you doing this? But here's the most important thing, Coach. Was there not a major deal that just went down with Warner Brothers and Paramount?
Major.
Okay, what if an executive involved in that deal probably didn't see this? No television executive is going to sit through a wrestling show for an hour, let alone 5.5 hours. But you know that footage is going to get to them. What if the decision is up in the air with what are we going to do with this wrestling show? You're going to pick now to stick a loaded syringe through somebody's cheek. That's how you want to present your product to the new owners. Do you know how asinine that is, Coach?
You're talking about $200 to $300 million they want in their next deal. And right now, there is so much going on with this new deal, and the fact that they had TNT bought and they had TBS bought. And Vince, I don't even know who else to blame on this, because we talk about it all the time. Does Tony have other people around him? And I almost let it go. Remember the John Moxley crap last year with the stick in the head and the drowning in the water and all that. And I'm like, this is not pro wrestling. Hardcore matches are pro wrestling, and I'll give it that. But, Vince, you just hit the nail on the head. If Tony Khan's walking into it, and this is where I don't think he thinks about anything because he controls everything. Because everything in his life is Jacksonville. His dad walks in. He's part of the NFL. He's got this. He owns pro wrestling tees. So nobody ever tells him no, because they're worth $20 billion. But, Vince, the two words you used that I wrote down earlier today, common sense.
Yeah.
And I am so fired up about this, because also MJF tweeted today. He was like, greatest Iron Man match, greatest this match, and now the greatest Texas death match.
Yeah.
And man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I would love, and MJF's super smart, but not only to me, he's so far above this. 2 weeks ago, he's at an indie show giving away contracts when he's your world heavyweight champion. And now he's doing this in the same building, Vince, where 24 hours earlier, LeBron James played, Luka played, and you're going to do that in that building? Building?
Coach, I've got to tell you, everybody knows, man, I work very, very closely with Violent J. My God, if there was ever a rebel, it would be Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope and the Insane Clown Posse. These guys were rebels. Coach, we're on YouTube. So, anything goes on JCW. But since I came along and, now we're serious about looking for a streaming deal, I get together with Jay, and what do you think is the first thing Jay says to me and then addresses the locker room? Vince, we've got to watch the language. This is Violent J saying, if we want a streaming deal, guys, we've got to cut down on the language.
He's right. He's right.
Not putting syringes through each other's cheek. We don't do that there. The language. And again, Coach, listen, this is where the AEW fans can stick it up their backsides, because I'll tell you what, you said who's responsible for this. We just saw what happened at OVW with that referee at Dallas. We just saw that very unfortunate incident. Since then, those same AEW fans are all over Al Snow. Yep. Al is getting bombarded. It's Al's fault. Why? Because Al's the man in charge. Well, you guess what then, bro? If we're going to sit here and watch syringes go through cheeks, then you got to blame the man in charge. And this is a billionaire. But bro, his father is one of the most wealthiest businessmen in the freaking world, bro. And this is what you're doing? Seriously?
2 words: low brow. Low brow. And Vince, just like you guys are looking for a streaming deal at JCW, I think these streaming services understand it's pro wrestling, but they also understand you got to sell advertising. And if you're an advertiser on AEW, I did a betcast this weekend, and you know DraftKings is the main big sponsor. They're also one of the main sponsors, Vince, of AEW. They are. And if you're at DraftKings or any of these other places, and last night you see your name at the bottom of that main event, what are you saying today in the Monday morning meeting?
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sure.
One question, Coach.
Yeah.
Why? Somebody just explain to me why you must do that spot. It's not the shock and awe anymore, because we've seen it. They do that regularly now on the indies. So it's not that. So if it's not that, then Coach, what is it?
I'm going to tell you that right now, because of all the noise going on in the world of pro wrestling and the fact that WWE is taking hit after hit after hit, Tony Khan is sitting there saying, this is our opportunity. And for now 6 years, what have they been? The alternative. 6 years, what have they been? We're the best wrestle. For 6 years, what have they been? 5 and 6 hour pay-per-views. And all for 6 years, what have they been? Take it to another level. Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, and now Hangman Adam Page and MJF. And they think, or he thinks, that this is going to get more and more people. I was told when they called me, we got heat with you, Coach. Why? Because you said something about Britt Baker. But if you keep your mouth shut, Tony Khan will start to favor you guys just a little bit more. They are so delusional in what is going to bring the casual fan. And during that phone call, I said, aren't you trying to win? No, we're not trying to win. Vince, it has never been more clear to me that AEW and Tony Khan don't give 2 shits about winning. They give 2 shits about their little niche audience of 400 to 500,000 fans every single week. Tell them how great they are, how creative they are, how far they continue to go. That's what they care about. Not growing with the casuals.
I got to tell you what really, really, really bothers me, Coach. There are a lot of veterans working there whom I respect greatly. Friends. I consider them friends. Guys, listen, man. I understand you're cashing in. I understand you're working for a cash cow that's paying you a lot of money. I understand that. But somebody's got to say, Tony, what are we doing? Somebody has to stand up and say, do we really want to be putting syringes into each other? Guys, seriously, man, I don't care how much you're making. And a lot of the people I'm talking about, Coach, are well off and they don't need the money. They can retire right now and live comfortably. We're not talking about people that need their jobs. They don't need their jobs. They've been in the business 20, 30 years and have millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank. One of those people has to be responsible and say, Tony, this is what we really want to do, especially with kids on the same show, as Coach pointed out.
And last night, two guys, you talk about your friends, two guys that I traveled with. I traveled with Edge for a substantial period of time. And Christian and me and Hurricane, we traveled together for 3 years. They made their return last night. And you got those two guys. And I hear what you're saying, and I would never accuse any of them of doing anything. But I think that if I was at the tail end of a contract, you got to get the other guys, Tony Schiavone, Taz, Excalibur, Jim Ross, and you get everybody together and you get in a room and say, Tony, because if you come in with 8 or 10 guys, he can't fire 8 or 10.
Yeah.
If you come in one and you're standing on your own, we've seen what happens to people like that before. They sit on the sidelines and either have their contract extended so they're out of sight, out of mind, or they get fired. And there's so many guys I just listed, and it's bananas. All right, let's move on a little bit more on AEW last night. A lot of super stickers are coming in. Remember, $5, we'll read them on the show. Keep them coming in. We'll get to them in a second. $10, you get on the Brolette wheel on Thursday morning. So, Vince, last night, in addition to the 5.5-hour pay-per-view, and we know that WWE is now doing 3 hours, and that's it. So last night was just obnoxious on all the way. But there were some surprises that really got to me. And it's been 8-10 years since Ronda Rousey has been relevant in combat sports. And she is now taking the UFC to task with this new Netflix deal. She's going to be fighting Francis Ngannou. They announced today Nick Diaz. And they're getting more juice out of this MMA event with Jake Paul than the UFC has had probably in years, to be honest. And last night, she shows up in an AEW ring, and this is the same person, Vince, who absolutely blasted Becky Lynch, the entire WWE locker room. I'd beat the shit out of all of them if it was real. What did you make of her? I think it's strategic. Paycheck, but also AEW against WWE, TKO, UFC, and she called out Tony Storm. I was shocked, to be honest.
Coach, everything you just said there, and we hit upon this on the last show. Everything you just said, that what is it? What always gets over, bro? Guys could be in their 50s, guys could be in their 60s. It could be Tyson. What always gets over? Publicity stunt.
Yep.
Always gets over. Why? Because casual fans are interested in publicity stunt. This is a publicity stunt. I think it's great. I think Ronda Rousey there shooting off her mouth, saying what she really wants to say. I think that's great. And that's what we need more of. What do you think? You think you're going to get the casuals through a publicity stunt with Ronda Rousey or sticking a syringe through somebody's cheek? How are you going to get casual fans to watch your show?
That's a very, very easy question. And this is where he needs people around him. Because if you walk in last night and you say, Ronda Rousey on the night, the Oscars, LA, everybody had their eyes on LA last night. Oscars and AEW. You didn't need the syringes. You had Ronda Rousey. You had, as much as they annoy me, the Costco guys are very, very popular. Rizzler and his brother are very, very popular. Wayne Brady was there. Did you also see who else was there last night, Vince? I don't know if you noticed this.
Who was that?
Guess who's in the front row? Who just came out and said that ESPN is very unhappy with the WWE deal recently?
Who was
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Interesting.
He was with a guy named Jeff Dye, who's also in the wrestling business. They were in the front row last night. They tweeted, "Thank you for the seats, Tony Khan."
Yeah.
So that, to me, is way better at publicity than that other crap. Because that's what I wanted to talk about today. And Ronda Rousey, say what you want. I've had my issues with her when I was at ESPN, when I was at WWE. Everybody knows that I was the first one to say it. I was right, and then I was told I had to apologize. That was years ago. But now for her to come back, Vince, and she is not only making publicity, she is hammering the UFC today. She said, I'm coming after their head booker. She's like, I'm going to make you, what'd she say? Producer man, if you can look up that post from today. Basically, I'm going to make you be remorseful that you didn't sign this deal, because Vince, they went to UFC first for this fight. Dana White says not interested. So they went to Jake Paul, and now Vince, in the last 2 to 3 to 5 years, there hasn't been one UFC pay-per-view that has more hype than this one has in 3 weeks.
The publicity stunt. Everybody loves a good publicity stunt, Coach. Everybody. That's always going to be a draw. Even when, and I'm not saying for this one, but let's face it, we've gone into some fights where we knew it was going to be a work, but they were still into it. They still wanted to see how the work was going to play out. People love publicity stunts, man.
100%. So here's what she said on Twitter. She goes, "Welcome to the revolution." So they just announced Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. Nate Diaz, Vince, is one of the guys who had 2 fights with Conor McGregor. They're legendary. He's an all-time tough guy. She says, it's the fighters versus the establishment, and we're going to win. May 16th, only on Netflix. P.S. Hunter Campbell, pissed off the wrong bitch. I'm coming for your job, mother effer. Now, you want to go lowbrow? That's good lowbrow to me.
Yeah.
You're going after UFC. And she understands, Vince, that right now, this whole company is reeling right now. They're not selling tickets. They have shows that are being canceled. And right now, she's got all the juice. So this is how you take the juice.
Absolutely. And what have I always said about wrestling, man? And we took that approach when WCW had its 83 weeks. Bro, when you're in second place, you throw the kitchen sink. I could tell you, man, I reference the WWE on JCW Lunacy, and every time I do, it gets the most attention of the night. And if that's Tony Khan, bro, if you had any balls, that's what I would be doing, bro. I wouldn't be sticking needles in each other's cheek. I would be going after the top dog, especially now when they're so vulnerable.
1,000%. And that's where you have to have really good writers like Vince, or people that know how to be a heel, because baby faces don't know how to go after other companies. And right now, Dana White, nobody goes after him. The world of boxing right now, he's going after all the other boxing promoters. Why? Because he's trying to get Zuffa Boxing over. They're brand new. So he's going after Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, all these guys. And I guarantee you, Dana White doesn't give a damn. He doesn't. I respect Dana a lot for how he goes about doing his post. He's the president, but he's also the face, Vince.
Right.
And so if you're Tony Khan, you're too nice of a guy to be the face. Let Ronda be the face. Let somebody else come in as a heel who knows how to do it, is not scared to publicly go after them and have a little like this, because now we're talking about it. And I guarantee you other shows are talking about it, aren't they?
At 1,000%. And man, you know, I don't know if he would do it, because it would really depend on how bitter he is. But man, you got Road Dogg out there, man. You want to bring in somebody to bury your competition. Like I said, I don't know if he'd do it, but if he's pissed off enough, bro, and those are the things that are going to get people talking.
No doubt about it. And by the way, I saw somebody on Twitter. I think Road Dogg is already doing appearances at different shows. I think so. By the way, Producer Man said that Tony Khan is a guest on Freddie Prinze and Jeff Dye's podcast tonight. It airs tonight. So very, very interesting. All right, one other thing on AEW, then we'll do a couple super stickers, then we'll get into WWE news. Vince, you remember really the only thing that I've been wrong about in the last year and a half from my all the guys that give me information behind the scenes is the Britt Baker. And I wasn't even really wrong about her. I said she wants to go to WWE, and I believe that she does. This is another thing I just don't understand. She was just at a red carpet event 2 weeks ago. She looks spectacular. She wants to wrestle. She wants to work. And last night, a bunch of AEW fans are like, listen, this is great, but where's the best female on the roster? And she tweeted, not my call. And Vince, when your own talent is answering tweets like that in a quote tweet, you can't hide from it anymore. Why Tony Khan is not addressing it is beyond me. Why he extended her contract reportedly is beyond me. But if I'm Britt Baker, I don't care how much I'm getting paid. I'm supremely pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, possibly creatively he doesn't have anything for her, but what does he have creatively for anybody?
Correct.
It's that he's just putting matches on.
That's
So
all it is.
put Britt Baker in a match. What's so difficult about that?
No doubt about it. And I think that's the other thing that nobody's talking about because of this nonsense in these matches is that they're not storyline driven. They think they're storyline driven, but they're not storyline driven. You're right.
Yeah. And Coach, what did we sit here and say last week?
What did we say?
This pops me because listen, Coach, you're all over but you're Pebble Beach, Bethpage, wherever Sawgrass, wherever you are, okay, and you miss these things, Coach. Okay. I got to remind you.
That's why I have you.
We came on this show last week and we said the two main events at WrestleMania, night 1 and night 2.
Yeah,
4 baby faces.
Yes. That's
your problem right there. And what did they do Friday night?
Tell the good people. I know that they tweaked something.
No, they turned Randy Orton on Cody.
Well, that's the tweak I'm talking about. That's the tweak. He's the greatest heel in the world now, everybody says. He's the greatest.
Come on, guys. Seriously. You need me and Coach to tell you that. You need to listen to our show to say, oh, guys, by the way, you got 4 baby faces up top at WrestleMania. You should do something. You really need Coach and me to tell you that, guys, that stuff. Come on.
And there was something else that happened that it is so clear that they watch our show and they go, we're going to prove them wrong. We're going to make Coach look like a dumbass. We're going to make Vince look like a dumbass. They actually put a microphone in the hand of Jade Cargill. They actually let her talk. And Vince, I was just sitting there watching and going, thank you. You're making my point for me. If you can't talk, you can't get over. It was rough, and they did it because everybody was saying she doesn't deserve it. Now, I really believe this. It was so bad. I think that they're going to change that match before WrestleMania because right now they're all over the place. We'll get into WWE in a second. We got several super stickers, Vince, I want to get into to kind of break things up just a little bit. So we hit on Rousey, AEW. Yeah. Okay, got it. All right. Hey, it's me, Scott. And remember, $10 you get on the Coach and Brolette wheel. You'll be on the wheel. I'd love you guys to do a watch-along with the musical chair segment from Raw in 2004 when Eugene was the GM. Coach, you and Flair cracked me up so much that night. Where did all the fun go in wrestling? Scott, first and foremost, we're going to start them. I just got back today, and I'm home for a month. So we're going to get the schedule with me, Vince, and Tommy worked out. That, I don't know if you've ever seen that, Vince.
I didn't see it.
It was hilarious. It was like 7 of us with me, Ric Flair, Eugene, Stacy Keibler, and we played musical chairs. Then they take one away at the end. I didn't win. I came very close. I didn't win, but we can do it. We can add that to the watch along. I'm going to start making a list. All right, chairs segment. You're going to laugh. It was great. So, Scott, thank you very much for that. But the question is, Vince, what was the question that he asked? Where has the fun gone in wrestling?
Yep.
And I find myself asking that question so much lately. As much as I enjoy this with you and I enjoy my SiriusXM show, I would enjoy it even more, Vince, if we were talking about funny segments or great promos or really good storytelling that we could sink our teeth into instead of syringes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's again, man. I'm glad I'm actively writing again because I put comedy in shows, man.
I know you do.
A wrestling show should have everything. It should have everything, and I love writing good comedy in wrestling shows, man.
Well, all I know is that I'm very busy for the next, let's see, April, May. But when I get to June, I have a little bit of a lull in my schedule. So I would encourage you
to
start working on my stuff.
Yes, June. Got it.
My stuff.
Yes.
Heel, comedy. Don't make me write it for you, Vince. Don't make me write it for you. All right, let's go to WN Perspective 1984. He says, I've been a wrestling fan for almost 37 years, mostly WWE. I've watched AEW off and on since the summer of 2021. I am done with them. I can't recall the last time a main event turned me off so much. That's another thing, Vince, that if you know you have the opportunity to get some of that WWE fan base, why would that be the decision you make if you know coming over and testing the waters to watch something else?
And think about what Perspective is saying. That main event turned me off. Guys, are you going to sit there and tell me with your casual audience and you got two main eventers putting a syringe through somebody's cheek, do you believe that's going to turn more people on, Coach, than it's going to turn off?
These are easy questions.
Is that the mentality?
These are easy questions. And at some point, these comments or other people's comments, I saw social media, I was on 2 3-hour flights today. I mean, I didn't see one that said, man, that was a banger last night. Not one tweet, not one. And so if you're sitting in the room, that's got to be the first question you're asking yourself. So clearly they're not sitting in the room. Clearly they're not even discussing it. And where's the agent in this match, by the way? Every WWE match has an agent to help them. I mean, this is so easy not to do. I'm blown away at the stupidity of all of it. All right. Our guy that we've inspired, and now he inspires us, smartest Mark alive, continued support, and we support you as well. Say what you want about the AEW spots and too many matches, but as a wrestling fan, I'd rather have that on my pay-per-view than 1.5 hours of ads and sponsor shilling. Both aren't optimal options, but that's the truth. Smartest Mark, I disagree with the nonsense, but the ads and the sponsorships is annoying, Vince, on Netflix and the PLEs.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
I hear what he's saying. I mean, I definitely hear what Smart Mark is saying, but man, bro, I ain't sitting there for 5.5 hours, bro. I swear to God, I can go to see my favorite band. I can go to a baseball game that goes into extra innings. Coach, when it hits that number, I'm like, all right, all right, guys, let's go. Like, and that number is usually 2.5 to 3 hours. Let's bring this home. We got to.
That's what it is. Yeah. Last night they had 13 matches on that pay-per-view. 13. That's the amount of matches WWE is going to have over 2 nights at WrestleMania. Think about that for a second. Man. 13 matches. And Vince, I compared it today. I'm sitting in the airport. I like to do back and forth. I say, hey, ask me questions if you want. I don't know why I do it because it's a cesspool, but I'm a glutton for punishment, and we all know that. And I said to myself, 13 matches, Vince, and I compared it to Little League Baseball, is when it becomes a participation, you've earned your spot on the pay-per-view. You've earned the right to have a match. There was at least 4 matches, maybe 5, that were nothing more than collision, maybe dynamite matches, maybe. Yeah. And that's a stretch. You had maybe 6 or 7 that were legit pay-per-view matches, but he throws 13 on plus the free hour. Just way too much.
Yeah.
Way too. I don't care what anybody says. Me and Vince are going to stand on this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, Hitesh, our man Hitesh says, I hear a lot of people credit Cody for WWE's big business since 2022. I believe it was Roman's big run and interest in seeing WWE without Vince, not Cody. Hitesh, you can argue that. I think right now people are forgetting because they're stuck in what's going on right now. And Vince, I was thinking about this on the plane too, that when they signed these 2 big deals, ESPN and Netflix, you said this is going to be a problem. Yeah. And we said together, it may not be in a month, but it could be in a year. We've just gone to 14 months and we're here.
Coach, here. I swear, and this is not, guys, this is not a WWE diss at all. I don't come on here, guys, just wanting to purposely diss WWE because, quite frankly, I don't care. I don't care what they do. I'm just giving you my opinion. But, Coach, today on my social media, an ad came up on my timeline for Raw. It was from the WWE, and I swear to God, it was Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar return tonight on Raw. That did nothing for, like, how many times have Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar returned on Raw? Like, that, I looked at that and I'm like, okay, so, Like,
Give me a storyline, right? You want something.
It did not make me in the least want to tune in. We've done it a million times, and every time they come on the show, it's an in-ring, it's an interview, and nothing happens. And they're still promoting that like it's something special. It's not special anymore, guys. You've done it to death.
It really is. And I think this is where the creative team needs to understand. Don't put your blinders on. Don't put your earmuffs on. Listen. The hardest thing in life to do is hear something you don't want to hear. We've all had to deal with it many, many, many times. And right now, they are living in this world of tunnel vision. And they're like, we don't care what the noise is. What we're doing is right. But now there's more and more and more instances where it's obvious that what they're doing is not right. And they've got to start admitting it, owning it, and telling creative, you need to dig deep. Because this, like just coming out and saying 4 Raws and 5 Raws until WrestleMania, that's not doing anything. Vince is right.
They have admitted it, and they have done something.
What's that?
They've beautifully set up a scapegoat without a shadow of a doubt. Coach, please, please let me read something to you.
Please.
Let me I got so many browsers here. Let me read. Oh shit, how do I get it? It's covering my browsers on the bottom. I don't know how to get to it. How do I get rid of this thing on the bottom? Okay. I don't think I can get to it. Hold on, Coach. Shoot, I don't think
can I help you?
I get the browsers on the bottom of my screen, but they're all.
Oh, you don't have them at the top? Oh, they're on the bottom?
Yeah. Hold on, Coach. I got it. Coach, listen, okay. Guys, listen to this. I don't know if the phrase is more made for this than anything I've ever read. This is a case of read the room. This was put out by WWE's Alexandra Williams.
Oh, okay.
He put this out, Coach, not the WWE.
All right, and who is she? Who is she?
She is the new creative director, head of Raw, SmackDown.
Oh, okay, I heard about this.
This is the girl they just promoted.
I saw her all over LinkedIn bragging about this.
Yes, yeah, and okay. I also, guys, I also want to promote. I also want to point out, if you go to her LinkedIn page, she had 0 writing experience before she got to the WWE.
Oh my gosh!
None.
Oh my gosh!
None.
Oh my gosh!
0. Listen to this, Coach, and you're gonna tell me they haven't set up a scapegoat.
Okay.
These are her words. I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as Vice President Lead Writer at WWE. As VP and lead writer for WWE's flagship live program, I oversee all creative development for Monday Night Raw, one of cable television's longest running and highest rated weekly shows. I pitch to and collaborate with executive leadership and a cross-functional writing team to conceptualize and execute week-to-week storylines, character arcs, and premium live events buildups, including WrestleMania and Survivor Series. I help drive the full creative process from episode rundowns to long-form narrative strategy, developing complex characters and compelling feuds that deepen audience engagement across live broadcasts, digital platforms, and social media. My work is informed by an analytical approach, tracking segment performance, audience trends, and viewership data to make real-time and long-term programming decisions in partnership with talent, producers, and brand leadership. I've contributed to record-setting live event attendance and revenue growth.
What?
Wait, helping position Raw as the cornerstone of WWE's content ecosystem under the TKO umbrella, and this has since been deleted. Coach, can you imagine Vince Russo writing something like this about himself. Can you imagine? You talk about not reading a room.
Wow. I thought you were going to stop at like 2 sentences.
No,
You kept going. I thought it was a rib.
She put this out. She put it out, and from what I'm told, it has since been deleted.
No, it's still up. It's still up.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my guys while you were reading. That took like 8 minutes to read that. We had time to go look. There it is.
Now you're gonna tell me this is not a scapegoat that has been set up.
I had no clue you were going to read this.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're literally saying, yep, if we suck the next 6 weeks, for people that don't understand what Vince is talking about, if they suck the next 6 weeks, well, we had a new creative head. And she said that she was the one that contributed at Survivor Series and WrestleMania. And Vince, this is as tone deaf as Triple H standing in front of the media in Las Vegas with all the talent, all those great talents standing behind him going, the reason we got WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia is Nick Khan, all of them, but not the ones that are actually coming to watch. This is so tone deaf,
Coach.
especially right now.
Coach,
yes,
this woman has been with this company for 6 years. She doesn't understand after 6 years, a statement like that is the absolute kiss of death in the She hasn't learned that in 6 years?
Okay, it has just become very obvious to me. Not only are me and Vince right, but we're right by 1,000% when we say they don't pay attention to anything. And when you work in a company that is fan-driven, that is all about the fans or you have no company, how do you write something like this? Because Vince, right now, because we've been actually keeping track at SiriusXM on my show, we keep track of calls. And I said, I want to keep track of all the positive calls. Don't care about the negative ones. Those are easy to track. Vince, do you know when the last time I got a positive call on my show about the WWE was? January.
Wow. I believe it.
It's all negative. And you've got those few people like, oh, you guys are negative. No. The fans are telling you what they like because they're spending money to do this. It's not us being negative. It's us reporting what's going on. And when this happens, Vince, oh my goodness. It's having a non-wrestling person and you're going to put her in charge of writing wrestling storylines at a time when they've never been more important than what they are right now, and you're going to put that up?
And you're going to point out compelling storylines and, deep characters and what show is she watching? I want to watch the show she's watching.
Yeah, really? Could you send us that one, please? Is it on Tuesdays?
Man,
it's
Coach,
not on Monday.
Can you imagine?
Oh man. I think it's why we're starting to see more and more talent speak out. Do you remember on Unreal when Triple H got into LA Knight and just let him go? So LA Knight, I want to play the sound for you because this makes a lot more sense. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a revolt, and we'll get back to the super stickers in a second. But LA Knight was a guest. And Vince, I think what we're also going to start seeing very soon is WWE saying, you've got to get clearance to go on these podcasts. Because these talent, they're talking now.
Yeah.
So listen to what LA Knight said about that scene in Unreal. Producer man, roll tape.
I have definitely shifted the way that I do some things because you had mentioned my appearance on Unreal there, and I was majorly holding my tongue in that scenario. If you could tell when I looked,
yeah, I could tell.
Because I had my own frustrations about that situation that partially had to do with the finish, but more so had to do with a more overarching theme that I don't need to get into the weeds about right here.
Okay,
but also
in right there. My own overarching frustrations that I don't need to get into right here. Vince, this is LA Knight, who's arguably one of the top 8 stars in the WWE. And he's clearly telling you without telling you there's some bullshit going on.
Man, I got to tell you, Coach, I think about when I'm watching that and he's your partner. And I don't know him well, and I hope to get to know him better. But, you know, Nick Nemeth has been doing a lot of our shows. Mm-hmm. And I always see, because I spent a lot of our shows, I spent a lot of the shows watching the shows because we pre-tape all the stuff. There's no live shots during the show. So I'm done with my pre-tapes by the time the show starts. So I watch a lot of the show. And I'm always looking over to my left and I'm seeing Nick. He's got his sweatshirt on and his hoodie, and he's enjoying the show. And I mean, my God, bro, he knows what it's like to be in LA Knight's spot. And now for him to be able to go out, book himself wherever he wants, make a good payday, and just be able to go to a show, watch the show, and enjoy it, man. I look at LA Knight and I feel for him because he doesn't have to say anything, Coach. We know. And I was told by someone on the roster in a very, very prominent position that Triple H makes fun of LA Knight backstage to other people, doesn't like him, doesn't think highly of him at all. Now, if this talent knows that, LA Knight knows that. So now try to be LA Knight when you know, bro, no matter what I do, I'm in a no-win position. Think about that, what that must be like. And I'm going to tell you something, Coach, all the money in the world isn't worth that. All the money in the world.
You're so right. And he knows he's a gatekeeper. That's exactly what he's become. He is 43 years old. And every time it comes to who's going to go over, who's going to get that big match at that PLE, it's never him. It's never him. And then you can't. And if I'm a talent and some of that stuff comes out, and I guarantee you, Vince, that when the Chelsea stuff came out, when the LA Knight stuff came out, they went to them and said, hey, listen, you know, we don't have a say over the edit. You know, we watch it like you guys do when it comes out. Yeah. And Triple H is going to tell you that when he's the head of everything. When we know when Vince was in charge, nothing aired. Diva Search, Tough Enough, you name it, it did not air without approval. Yeah. So I don't give a damn if somebody else is shooting it. So if I'm LA Knight and I'm 43 years old and I've never gotten to the top of the mountain and you're going to make fun of me and you're going to air it on that show, man, I'm actively thinking, how long is my contract? Because I want to be like Nick Nemeth. I want to be like Matt Cardona.
You could just see he's got his hands in his pocket. Is like no stress. I'm watching the show, but Coach, I hate to do this. I hate to correct you on your own show.
What mistake did I make?
You just said Triple H is the guy in charge. When I just read that, girls, come on, stop it. It's not Triple H. It's Alexandra something. Williams, Serena Williams.
Can I take just a moment to publicly apologize to Alexandria? The disrespect I did not mean. We all know that you are in charge. We all know who to come to. So I apologize.
Yes. Okay. All right. It's not Triple H.
Well,
it is not Triple H, guys.
That would have been serious.
Yes.
All right. Let's do a few more super stickers, and then we got to get into the WWE stepping in it again on Austin 316 Day. Oh, by the way. Angelusha, Coach, what you said about Randy being pissed, Slice Wrestling reported it. Randy basically threw Triple H under the bus when talking to Ari and Nick. That's why he got his heel turn and will win 15. 1,000%. 1,000%. I actually, you know, Vince, I said last show that Randy wasn't a part of John Cena's retirement tour. They had him, and somebody put up the poster and they said, Coach, we don't fault you for forgetting. They actually did have a match like a year ago at the very beginning of it. That was so forgettable that I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And these people are, I mean, we had so many cool people on our side. But Randy doing that, it's obvious what they're doing. It's obvious what they're doing. Six Rings says, JBL always said if you build a wrestler top to bottom, it's Randy Orton. Where do you place him all-time top 10, Vince?
Man, I would say just because of consistency and being there for as long as he has, man, yeah, it would be debatable, but I could definitely see him in the top 10. Coach, can I point out something else creatively?
Of course. Oh no. Oh, where are you going now?
Why would you say Drew McIntyre is quitting the promotion and then he leaves? What if you have Drew McIntyre fans watching the show and now they believe Drew is never going to? Why would you do that? Coach, I got to tell you, I did an angle. I swear to God, we just did an angle with Violent J. And the angle called for I had to write him off the show. Okay. But I'm like, Jay, you got to understand, if you're not physically on the show, you still have to have a presence on the show because people are really going to think you're gone. And Jay, if they think you're gone, they're not going to watch the show, Jay. So even if that's in the storyline, we have to have teases of you. Why would you say the guy is quitting when whoever watches the show for Drew McIntyre may never tune in ever again?
Oh, Vince. Oh, you poor old sap, you. Don't you know, Vince, that nobody thinks that he's really leaving because this is not the first time they've done this. Yeah. Oh, it's not the second time they've done this. This is the third time he has quit the show and walked off. What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing, Vince?
I don't know.
Let's lighten things up just a little bit.
Yes, please.
Today is Austin 316 Day. And Varsity VA says, happy Stone Cold Day, guys. What are your favorite Austin moments? And Vince, how soon before you put the title on cocaine? Let's address the title on cocaine. Is that ever going to happen?
Stay tuned, man.
I love it. Varsity, you enjoying the show? Now, as far as Stone Cold,
somebody said in the chat, I just got to point this out, Coach, because this is how ignorant some people are.
Okay,
we were talking about the gimmick through the cheek.
Yes,
and somebody actually said in the chat, well, maybe you shouldn't have a wrestler do cocaine during a match. Yeah, bro, that would be the equivalent of the guy really doing cocaine in the match. Do you understand that, bro? Yes, if the guy was actually snorting cocaine in a match, yes, bro. But people are stunad.
They are. Coach. And by the way, I have addressed Vince about that. And if you look at how he spelled it, it's Cokane as well.
Yeah. Well, there's Coach, do you know originally he was and this is Violent J's mind. Originally he came out as Yellow Kane. And he was Kane, but his outfit was yellow. WWE hit them with a cease and desist. So Jay comes back with Blue Kane. And he was blue. WWE, Jay went through like 4 colors, and then the WWE kept hitting him with legal papers. Finally, Jay said, "Okay, he's cocaine." Finally, that's the story behind the character.
All right, very, very good. By the way, the Austin part of that story, my favorite. So I was, if you guys watched when I was there, I was with Stone Cold a lot. We had a lot of skits together. I took a lot of stunners. I still think, and maybe at the end of the show, maybe I'll have producer man go back to some of the stunners I took over the years.
Love that.
To end the show. Stone Cold, to me, the beer truck was iconic. When you were there and he was really starting to take off, what was the greatest thing about Stone Cold that you knew once he found the Stone Cold character, that was going to be the home run?
Oh, God, bro. He kept, again, Vince wanted him to be the ringmaster and never talk. And he kept saying to me, Vince, you got to find an opportunity for me to talk. You got to find an opportunity. So I was writing the show and there was the opportunity to put him on color. Coach, he was on color for maybe 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, he made himself a millionaire 10 times over. And as soon as he did it, I'm like, that I knew. But again, that's a pro. All he needed was that 5 minutes, Coach.
Every time I hear people yap back at me about, oh, Coach, we know kayfabe, or oh, it's a show, or oh, these are characters. I think it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin was the epitome of a pro wrestling character. That from the minute he got out of bed in the morning to the minute he went to bed, he was thinking, how can Stone Cold get over? And I'm telling you, this guy, I saw him give people wedgies that were new that thought wrestling was fake. Mm-hmm. He hated people that played wrestling. Stone Cold did not play wrestling. So, Vince, just like I believe, and I know I'm right, that Rock has heat with Triple H and WWE, I also believe that on some level, Stone Cold does as well. And I'm going to tell you why. Because remember a couple of years ago when Taker showed up in the ring with Rock and Cody and all that, it was supposed to be Stone Cold. But Stone Cold is one of the few people that if you don't pay him what he believes he's worth, he will sit his ass at home. He will not show up for $1 million when he thinks he deserves $2 million. Well, on a Monday night, when you're counting down to WrestleMania and you are struggling like you are, the obvious appearance that you have on 3/16 day that falls on a Monday would be to have Stone Cold on the show tonight. But, Vince, if you're literally telling the world 8 hours before Raw that you're not going to be on the show so people can't even think about it, and those aren't my words. Let's roll the tape. Probably frozen. He was on a podcast where he said he will not yet is frozen. Sorry about that. So he was on a podcast today. He was also on Busted Open today, and they asked him about being on the show tonight, Vince. And he goes, no, I got something I got to go do with a buddy of mine. I got to go hang out with a friend.
Coach, you're forgetting one other incident, too.
Which one? Which one did I forget?
Do you remember? I don't know if it was the Hall of Fame. I don't know what it was. But when Brett and Austin were on the stage next to each other, and Triple H gave himself the main entrance, and he went over there. And remember, they both freaking roll their eyes at Triple H. Come on, bro. You know how Austin feels about Triple H. Come on.
Vince, that was like 20 years ago. Oh, no. It was 11 months ago.
Yeah.
It was just last year. Of course I did.
Yeah,
of course I did.
Yeah.
All right, this is unfrozen. Here is Stone Cold when asked about, are you going to be at Raw tonight?
Car right now too with Kawasaki. I mean, so like you're in it with the technology.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I got a bunch of good friends on my race team that's helping out, and we've got a race next week on the 21st. So literally a little bit over a week away. And today we're doing right after I get through talking to you, I'm heading over to my buddy's house. So we're spending all day today on the car, all day tomorrow. Hopefully Sunday we'll be able to go out and start testing. But just running a new car, and the race season for many people has already started. There's a couple races in, but for the
race car right now too with Kawasaki.
Okay,
I mean,
so Vince,
like you're
in
it with the technology.
All right, we can stop it. He's got a race team that is more important. A brand new race team that nobody knows about is more important than showing up on Raw tonight on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean that speaks volumes. And again, we said it earlier in the show. If Vince McMahon were still in charge, would that be Austin's? Would that be his feeling towards the company? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'll never forget. We got some breaking news. Oh no! No! Hold on, producer man. We got some very serious breaking news here. But no, it wouldn't have been. I'll never forget 5 years ago, like the Raw 25th anniversary, I was standing backstage with him and he was pacing around. So I walked over to him and, we've had our issues. We were supposed to wrestle on pay-per-view and I didn't get a pay. But you grow up and you're a grown ass adult. You move freaking on. So I walked over to him. I said, what's going on? He goes, I'm so nervous. He says, Coach, what if they don't remember me? And I was like, you're Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's like, I don't know if they're going to remember me. And he was dead serious.
Wow.
And that's how serious he takes the business, that the new fan base, he thought they're not going to remember arguably one of the top 3 characters of all time in the sport of wrestling. Vince, so as we were discussing and as we're talking about Raw, which starts in less than 3 hours, This just came out on social media. Producer man, can you put the picture up, please? Apparently, this is. And the headline reads, breaking news, Alexandra is now fully in charge.
Yeah.
She is also handling the finger point of dooms now. She's taken that away from Triple H. He took away his gimmick. Now her gimmick.
The brilliance of producer man. That is tremendous.
And have you noticed? He's not smiling. He's not smirking. He cannot believe he handed the keys to the castle over to Alexandria.
Yes.
We should run a contest. How long she stays?
I was thinking the same exact thing. She got, guys, seriously, what month are we in? March?
March 16th.
She will not be there January 1st, 2027.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, we've always stood that Triple H would not last through 2026. Who lasts longer, Alexandra or Triple H?
I think Triple H.
I think he's good for now. I think he's good for now because right now they're so worried about other things. Yeah. And speaking of Austin 316, well, Vince, WWE is doing everything in their power to sell tickets to WrestleMania, and it ain't working. A month ago, they did 25% off for a whole weekend. It moved nothing. They are still less than, I believe, 38,000 for each night. And then they decided today, Vince, producer man, can you pull up the graphic that WWE sent out today? Any and all tickets, Vince, today and today only, 31.6% off tickets to WrestleMania. And WWE World, where for a cool $750, you can get a photo app with Stone Cold Steve Austin the week of WrestleMania. They're also giving percentages off of that today as well. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, get your tickets, guys. Man, go grab them today before they're gone, bro. Go get them. Yes.
No, there's still 70,000 left. I think they'll be good. I think they'll be good.
Again, I just ask a very simple question. What am I paying to go see? What am I paying for?
So this Monday, or this Saturday rather, I'm going to, there it is right there, 31 all live events, all tickets, not just WrestleMania. WWE World is also on there. The code is WWE 316. Vince, if they're giving 32% off tickets at every live event, what does that tell you?
Yeah, that tells me they're not selling tickets, Coach.
They ain't selling tickets. It's as obvious as the day is long. Yeah. I responded the other day when I was talking on Twitter. It's one of those parody accounts with Vince. You're like me. I don't have time to look to see if it's a parody account, a real account, whoever it is. And it says there's internal strife within TKO and WWE at the lack of ticket sales. And I said, yes, because of this. So, of course, the smartasses on Twitter said, Coach, that's not even a real account. And I said, it's not about the account. It's about the message.
Exactly.
And the message is real.
Right. Exactly. You're seeing it right here. Yeah.
You know they're pissed off.
Yeah.
Who are they pissed off at, Vince? They only have to put a mirror up in front of them and say, we did this to ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To ourselves.
Yep.
All right, super stickers. Another interesting stat in correlation to the plunder spots appealing to casuals. 2025's fastest growing genre and 70% of total ticket sales were from the horror genre. Smartest Mark, I don't disagree. It's just, this is horror films, and this is where I got to explain to fans, Vince. Horror films are not right in front of you 10 feet away doing this live. This is in front of your kid that's in the front row with you, not at a movie theater where they can doctor it up with makeup and all that kind of stuff. That's not what this is.
Yep.
And, it just but thank you, Smartest Mark. We love you. Varsity VA, Randy's promo on Cody backdooring his way to a title match when he lost in the chamber that he won sounded like a shoot. Because it is a shoot. But it also, Vince, is they were not prepared for the backlash. Over 200,000 dislikes on that video.
Yep.
So I think in the moment they, once again, Vince, I think they, what's the word we're looking for? Panicked.
But think about that, Coach. Just think about that. You brought up the word logic earlier in the show. Think about that. They were vehemently against Cody Rhodes winning the title back.
Yeah.
And then they still tried to get sympathy on Cody by turning Orton heel. Do they not think people aren't going to be cheering Orton at WrestleMania?
They want him to win the 15th. That's what the story is. It's not him being a heel. It's him winning 15th. Of course they're not thinking of it, but of course the fans are going to do what you just said. 1,000%. Randy is such a babyface at this point. He's over 40 years old. He's made it through the mud and the muck. He's going to be a babyface for the rest of his career.
Right, but that's what I'm always talking about, protecting your talent. This is how they protect Cody?
I would love to have a conversation with Alexandra. Oh, wait. She's in charge of Raw, not SmackDown. My bad. Again, another public apology. I'm sorry. That's Road Dogg. No, it's not Road Dogg. Who's in charge of SmackDown? Do we even know? This is such a joke.
I think it's the guy in the room with the sweater vest.
Easy Ed?
Yeah, he might be in charge of something.
And me and Easy Ed, I have one of my top 5 stories of all time involved Easy Ed.
Yeah, you mentioned that once.
I will never share that story live on the air, ever. I like Ed, good guy. To be in that room for 25 years is an upset in itself.
Coach, can I tell you something seriously? And I've said this, and I'm not joking around. I celebrated, I think it's my 25th year of fantasy baseball. My draft was yesterday. Bro, do you know what I did for the first time ever?
What?
Chat GPT.
Wow.
Wow. Guys, when I'm telling you the WWE should use Chat GPT, I am not kidding you. I am 1,000% being serious. If you fed into Chat GPT what you wanted to accomplish, I promise you what it would spit out would be 10 times better than what you're seeing on TV. I put in what I was looking for, and I used the information it gave me.
I just want a video of it. I really do. We've got some names of who's writing for SmackDown. Some guy named Ryan Ward. Some guy named Russobot. I don't know. I have no clue. All right, let's get through the rest of the super stickers, and I got to go pick up my son, which is the whole reason we started early today, but you guys are freaking amazing. Jimmy Fingers. And by the way, if you guys want to be on the roulette wheel, we're going to have brand new baseball jerseys in honor of Vince and baseball season starting. Now, whether or not that's involved with they're a lot more expensive, Vince, than the T-shirts are. So I got to think, maybe we'll do a special contest or something like that. Maybe we'll do a special contest. I laugh every time people refer to this as the Randy heel turn. That was the biggest face turn in recent history. Because entitled Cody got what he deserved. The fans will let you know in Mania when they boo Cody.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. You kill Cody. You're killing the guy, bro. They have no sense of that.
He was just on Van Vliet again this past week, and he was talking about how media and podcasts, he said, can be the death of a talent. And Van Vliet asked him what he was talking about, and he said, well, remember when I said that the talent leaves right away instead of watching the main event? And then the headline comes out, Cody Rhodes says everybody leaves the building before, right? And that's so you guys understand, when we do these shows, how many times we say, quote me correctly, so that when we get quoted incorrectly, we can go back and roll the clip, because it pisses us off when these websites put up one sentence of an 8-minute discussion.
Yeah.
And Cody's, he's spot on. But at some point, I feel like he is, what's the word, Vince, right now? He's in a very weird spot because he's had 4 years of gigantic success, 4 years of financial success, QB1, and now he's starting to be in a weird gray area.
Well, Coach, when you look at it, I mean, the initial story was finish the story.
Yep.
After that, nothing. Not one single storyline, not one.
And they're not giving him layers either, Vince, because in order to have adversity, you have to do what? Lose.
Yep.
He has not been pinned clean since 2022. That is remarkable.
Yep.
Not one time clean. And we're talking about PLEs. We're talking about pay-per-views.
Yep.
Pay-per-views, everybody's lost. Stone Cold lost. Rock lost. Kane lost. Undertaker lost.
Yep.
He hasn't lost. All right, a few more. Jimmy Fingers, another one. Vince, I saw a Twitter post of Vito putting himself through a car wash after Mickey Knuckles got through with him. Did you write that, Vince? That should have been part of the show. Vito is a treasure.
Yeah, he probably came up with that, Jimmy. I did not come up with that. I did not. That was probably Vito.
By the way, Vito's down in Puerto Rico or somewhere
at
an indie show.
He was working there this weekend. Yep.
Yeah, I saw him on Twitter. His arrogance and his ego, it's all the way back. And I say that in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way, which is awesome to see, especially as long as he's been around.
Absolutely.
You've given him and his character life, Vince. You really have.
Yeah.
You've given him life, and that's awesome. Varsity VA, still no Bianca, and now Montez Ford has mysteriously disappeared. Guys, I've told you this, and understand, Bianca will not be back for a really long time. I have inside information. Her hand is awful. She almost, Vince, had to have it amputated. That's how bad this thing is.
That's a shame.
And if she does, she'll still get – she's not out of the woods of amputation. But if she does, she'll still be able to work. But even she put out a post where she said it's much worse than she ever could have imagined.
I hate hearing that, man. What a promising future. That sucks, bro.
It really does. But to your point, there's 1,000 other ways. Once she can travel, you can use her. Yep. She looks spectacular. She speaks very well. She's diverse. You don't just have to have her. She's in the ring. She's been gone for a year. You could have used her. They couldn't have used her on anything for a year.
Let's solve two issues.
Okay.
Why not have a storyline where she was managing Jade Cargill?
I love that.
How simple is that?
And the way they go about it, the way, there's a million ways to get into it.
Yeah.
A million ways to get into it.
Yep.
But man, whew. Joseph Ramos, no message there, but you will be on the wheel, and we appreciate that so very much. And I believe that's all of the super stickers for right now. All right, Vince, we got to wrap it up. Okay, we got another one. The one wrestler I've had the most fun watching, along with the most mark-out moments, was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Favorite mark-out moment, his world title win at WrestleMania 14. I will say this, that probably my favorite that I was a part of, Vince, was I was playing the role of GM, and Vince put in a stipulation that Stone Cold couldn't touch me unless I touched him. And so I had my finger in his face like, you can't touch me. And then Shane McMahon from behind pushed me into Stone Cold, which then
triggered
Stone Cold beating the absolute tar out of me. So we wanted to end the show in a fun way, because I think sometimes you guys that watch the show need to be reminded of all the things that Vince and the coach have done over the years. So producer man took it upon himself. Let's run the coach taking the stunner. Roll tape.
Yes. Look at that style, man. Look at you. Oh!
I must have taken it 20 times. Look at that.
I love this sound, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was the worst stunner of all time, JR. People say, did it hurt when he hit you with the belt? I was like, it was so embarrassing I had to sell for JR. I mean, it really was. Producer man, why'd you put that one in?
I love the sell, man. Great sells, coach. Great.
I tell people all the time, I'm one of the top 3 of all time. Because most people will take it on their knees. And you remember when Vince and Linda would take it?
Yeah.
And they would just crumble. They just crumble.
Yeah.
And, I love taking the stunner. I probably took it 25 or 30 times in my career.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome.
All right, Vince, we got to get out of here. We'll be back Thursday morning, so we don't even need to sell JCW on Thursday night. But
we'll talk about it. Yep.
if they have not watched the latest episode, what do they need to know?
Let me get in this plug so we'll sell JCW one. Guys, please, man, for the rest of the month of March, and you guys have been joining, and I appreciate it. Go to patreon.com/Russo TWC. Get your first month half price. We're only doing it for the rest of the month. Patreon.com/Russo TWC.
Wow. Very, very nice. And then for third, I know there's a lot going on right now. So if people have not been keeping up, we have a lot of new people. Our numbers are skyrocketing. Where can they find JCW on Thursday?
Yeah, guys, please. There's a new episode every Thursday night on YouTube, 7 o'clock Eastern, JCW Lunacy. If you miss it on Thursday, you can catch it the whole rest of the week. So check it out, JCW Lunacy on YouTube.
And a big time thank you to all of you who find us. I know we move the show around a lot, but damn it, you guys find us. Your loyalty to me and Vince is absolutely not only appreciated, it means the world to us. So we'll be back live Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, our normal time on Stadia. We haven't been there for a minute, Vince, but we'll be back on Thursday, and that will also be JCW Thursday night. But as we wrap things up here, don't forget tonight, The Last Word with Big Tommy C and Gabby AF. Oh no, Vince, we got to do one more thing. Guess who just ruined my flow?
Oh no, not Dirty Dan.
Double D. Producer man, put Double D up on the camera, please. I was flowing. Double D, back up from the camera. What shirt do you have on right now? You're on mute. What are we doing?
My Yukon Husky sweatshirt. God.
That's your Yukon Husky sweatshirt?
Yeah, the old one, the old dog.
Okay, so what hat do you have on?
My Dirt Sheet Dan hat, my merch.
Did you just say my merch?
Yeah, your merch.
Okay, so
the BTT Studio merch.
I'm aware. It's my page, Dan. It's my page. I'm aware of it. Vince, he has his own merch and he's wearing it on the show backstage.
Somebody's got to buy it, Coach.
Wow. Dirt Sheet Dan. All right, Dirt Sheet, be honest. How many pictures did you send that to family-wise to show people you have your own merch?
I legit just took it out of the box like right when I came home from work and hopped on.
So,
I'm going to be honest with you.
wait a minute. So he literally ordered his own merch to wear.
Yeah, but I got to give him a pass on that because I once bought 10 of my own action figure myself. So I'll give him a pass on that.
You turned around and sold them for $500 a piece. I mean, come on, man.
That's so true. Dan, so turn your head. I like this. So let's sell some merch right now. So if you want a Double D Dirt Sheet Dan hat, that looks really good. Dan, the question is, can you get Gabby AF to wear it?
Maybe. I don't know. I could try to convince her.
Wow.
That would be a storyline, Vince, I would be interested in.
Bro, I got to say, man, we had a clip on castrating the marks. I was highly disappointed of a podcast that Gabby appeared on.
Oh really? Oh, do I need to talk to her?
Oh,
was it not her own?
No.
Oh no. All right. Dan, are you going to be on The Last Word tonight?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll deal with you and the merch stuff later. We'll deal with Gabby later. I've got to track down this podcast. Boy, at some point, you two are going to love each other. I just know it.
Let's not get panicky.
I am a baseball fan.
He's a baseball fan, Vince.
Who are you a fan? Who do you like, Dan?
The Red Sox.
All right. Okay. I don't have anything.
You can live with that. You can live with that. All right, Dirt Sheet, you're the man, brother. Appreciate you. Now, if I ever, I wear hats for everything. So if I ever get a Dirt Sheet, Dan, we know we're going to have issues. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Tune in tonight to The Last Word to see if Dirt Sheet can get Gabby to wear his merch. Last week she wore his shirt, a hat, completely different story. But in the meantime, one more reminder that starting tomorrow morning, right on this very YouTube page and social media, our brand new show with me and JD. We like to call it the 2 Count. We'll see you then. At BTT Studios, we've never been hotter, but it makes me want more. More content, more opinion. So welcome to our brand new show with me, the coach.
And me, JD from New York.
Every single Tuesday, starting this Tuesday, March 17th, we're going to bring you the 2 Count.
That's right, 10 topics, 30 minutes, and that's all we need.
Now, don't get me wrong. I respect JD. But when it comes to wrestling opinions, I plan to absolutely verbally destroy him.
You know, that's funny because I do this every single night, every single week, and with someone like Coach, I call that easy work.
Now I know you have questions. What wrestling companies are you talking about? What wrestlers are you talking about? One simple answer: all of them.
And we will debate the biggest stories and the biggest topics from promotions like WWE, AEW, TNA, and shit, even JCW.
So join us this Tuesday, March 17th, for the very first 2 Count at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, live.
Why are we doing it live? Because we want you there live. We want you in the chat, and we want you there in the moment.
It's going to be the fastest show in all of pro wrestling that's going to make you think and maybe, just maybe, make you a bigger and better pro wrestling fan. We'll see you Tuesday.